Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan, and today I'm going to be reviewing yet another superhero movie. Right here for you folks, since I've been talking about quite a few of these types of movies anyway, so I just figured, what the hell. I guess reviewing another one isn't going to hurt anybody, I guess. So yeah, why not? So for today's feature folks, I'm going to be talking about a film titled Guardians. Yep. This is one of the more obscure titles of the superhero genre. And this is a Russian superhero movie. Yeah, you heard me right. Reviewing one of these action movies from somewhere else in the world. So, yeah, there was that. I tend to review foreign films anyway. So, I guess this doesn't come off like too much of a stretch, really, like something I would do. But yeah, I just figured, why not? I want to review more foreign films anyway, as much as I can when you think about it. So yeah, just so you know, folks, the dubbing in this movie wasn't exactly great, really. I mean, yes, you can watch this in its original language, Russian, of course, but I don't know if it would offer any subtitles, really. I mean, whatever. If I just watch this in the English dubbing, and yes, the English dubbing isn't particularly great, really, by any means of the imagination. So the dubbing is pretty. I mean, it's okay, I guess, but it still gets a bit distracted because it wasn't particularly dubbed that great. If I'm gonna be honest here, folks, I thought I'd just let you know. And the thing is that this movie was directed by this individual, whom I never reviewed of his work before, and most likely never would again after this review. Not because I hate the movie or anything, but whatever. Anyway, as usual, I have to talk about the plot, so let's just dive right into it, shall we? So, just like a lot of superhero films out there, this is what you would call like an origin story of some sorts, I guess you can say. Taking place during the Cold War, there's this organization that created the superhero squad, which includes members of this of this thing. And let's just say, for years, these superhero type people had to hide their identities, but in hard times, they must show themselves again. So yes, of course, there's gonna be some sort of conflict, obviously, and so yeah, this movie definitely is gonna show its own type of characters, and yes, each character gonna have their own superhero strengths and whatnot. But anyway, like I said, this takes place during the Cold War, and there will be altering this DNA of many selected individuals throughout the stage places in order to defeat uh, the the bad guys as they would defend the motherland from superhuman threats, of course. So yeah, this kind of thing involves this program, of course. So yeah, there's a whole backstory in regards of this, of course. As mentioned before, I'm reviewing the English dub version, and yes, like obviously, the dubbing isn't exactly particularly great by any means. But anyway, of course, there's gonna be a truck ton of action and whatnot. Lots of people, getting into lots of fights. There's gonna be a bunch of action sequences, lots of stuff blowing up. Pretty much what you might expect from this kind of a thing. So yes, this film was released. An English dub version was released in the United States and home video by Shout Factory on December 5th of 2017. The film met with negative reviews, the critical response by Russian media, considering it to be one of the worst films ever made, which I disagree with because it was nowhere near that bad of a movie. I mean, okay, this movie may not be any masterpiece by any means, but I won't say it's terrible. But also, the thing is that it debuted at the top of the box office. However, it grossly quickly dropped because unfortunately it was believed that this film to be a box office bomb. So it did had some success financially, kind of, but yeah, it just didn't do all that well over there in Russia, unfortunately. So that was that. But yeah, the special effects aren't exactly great, really. But yeah, I guess I'll just take it for what it is. I guess. Yeah, it's an action movie, of course. But in some ways, I kind of feel like maybe the script was rushed to some extent. But this overall story is basically very basic. It's pretty much what you might expect when it comes to these superhero type movies. And as the old saying goes, if you've seen one, you've seen them all, and that definitely applies here. Does that mean it's a bad movie? Not really. I don't think it's never near terrible, I guess you can say. But a lot of major film companies in a lot of cities and a lot of countries, of course, are trying to cash in as they attempt to make their own superhero films. And of course, eventually you're going to include some of the cliches. This, of course, will come in Hollywood as well, because Hollywood kind of repeats itself as well when you think about it. But the superhero genre has suffered worse. I can say that the superhero genre has suffered worse than this. So saying it's one of the worst is definitely a bit harsh, if you ask me. So yeah. But anyway, but yeah, this was definitely something I can give. Let's say I give a chance to give a watch. I mean, yes, okay, the production value may not be all that great, really, and yes, you can see that. But for what they have, the CGI is acceptable, I guess. It's been worse CGI, I guess you would say. I guess this is definitely one of those films you're gonna watch with some friends or family, and if you got nothing else to do, I suppose. Yeah, it's one of those kind of movies. You can see with a group of friends. Watch it with a bunch of friends or a bunch of relatives or whatever. Yeah, it's one of those movies. It's better when you watch it with somebody. Yes, that kind of a movie. Just keep that in mind, folks. Basically, that's what it is. So, yeah, there's some potential that this could have had, sure. Now, of course, it's going to have something to do with the government, obviously, as a lot of these do. But not that I mind, really. Because, realistically speaking, that's going to happen, of course, obviously. But, yeah, I didn't think it was all that bad. And so, yeah, there's lots of moments that the director was really trying to make a good movie. There's effort here. There's the way it's choreographed, especially during the fight scenes. There's plenty of fight scenes here, folks. Of course, I like them. They were stylistic, of course, in their own little way. I like that. It's very fast paced. I never got bored really, so that's what counts for something, right? But yeah, again, I'm not going to really say much about the writing because, like I said, I've seen this with the American dubbing. So yeah, the dubbing is pretty bad, and the dialogue is a bit cringe when you think about it. Just keep that in mind. I'm just saying. So yeah, I won't say this film is exactly perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I did have some fun watching this. So yeah, not that I was expecting much to begin with. I'm gonna be honest here, folks. There's good intent. There's definitely good intent. Of course, obviously, I do kind of wish the dialogue was more fluent. Then it would be much better. But again, this thing is dubbing, obviously. But yeah, there's a lot of cool moments. I mean, there's some things I want to say is there's some things I want to say, but I don't want to spoil it really. And yes, it may seem kind of bizarre when you think about it, which it is. But hey, what are you gonna do? But yeah, there's plenty of moments I did enjoy. Yeah, it seems a little crazy at times because that's what it is. But this is more competently made compared to some of the other superhero films I've seen over the years, folks. There's more of an effort in structuring the story. At least there was that. And yes, as usual, when it comes to these types of movies, you're gonna get a climactic fight. There's always a climactic fight at the end of the movie, but that's okay. I'll give this film an overall rating of a 6.8 out of 10. It gets a 6.8 out of 10 for me. So of course, as usual, thank you for watching, and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah. Later. Uh-huh.